That tackle, this is his second run that he just had, so has an ability to be much more physical than I think most people realize. He's very elusive, but he can get behind his pads as well.
2nd and 4. Again, a little short to the 10. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
In Texas in college, he was a guy that ran more inside zone and more duo. It's a different feel than these outside zones that the Atlanta Falcons are running. Seems like he's getting a better feel for it and better vision and patience with it every week.
Well, it's Jordan Whitehead, slow in a rising. Whitehead had been with Tampa, then went away to the Jets and decided to come back to the better weather. Among other things. So he'll have to come out for at least one play. And it will be 3rd down and 2 for the Falcons. Atlanta this season, we're 4.5 games into the season, and they have never trailed or led by more than 1 possession. In other words, 8 points at any point.
It's fortunate to be where they are right now with the record Algier. The more the power back comes in. You saw a shot there of Antoine Winfield. Servassier, Dennis, starting middle linebacker out. Britt in. Good to see Vita Vea back. He got hurt in the 2nd week against Detroit with an MCL sprain. Came back last week.
There he is in the middle. 3rd down and 2. And it's Algier, but he starts to stumble and gets gang tackled. So again, they bog down in the red zone. McCollum comes up to make the tackle. Now you're down by 7. Now you got a 4th down and 4.
And they're going hurry again, trying to slow down Tampa from pressuring.
Don't let him make any substitutions. To the outside, the pass is caught, breaking the tackle into the end zone. Darnell Mooney, touchdown. Yards. Tyke Smith could not bring him down.
What a job there. That's what having the luxury of having a veteran quarterback. You can go hurry up, take them out of that aggressive mindset. See Ray McCloud kind of sets a screen. Mooney gets in behind him, made it really tough on the defender to stay with him. A good shake to the inside, back to the outside, pulls away from Tyke Smith and into the end zone for that touchdown.
Chanting Mooney's name, whose extra point is good. Our best Thursday night game of the season.
Yeah, ball game.
By 48 miles. 27-27. Payne, touchback here. And, you know, you look at, as we take a look at this first, then we'll get back to Doug for a second. Go ahead.
Yeah, you take a look at our next gen stats powered by AWS. The first half, 0 pressures. You're the only team in the NFL this year with 0 pressures in the first half. And then in the second half, they've been able to dial it up a little bit more. Getting after Baker Mayfield, combination of some pretty good coverage downfield, giving them a chance to get after number 6 to try to slow him down, and done a better job of getting him out of that rhythm.
Mayfield in the pocket, fires over the middle, caught. Going to be a 1st down. Evans making that grab there. Evans tonight, 5 catches. You know, we were talking to Todd Bowles. We were talking about that Doug Williams game.
Yeah.
They won 42-10. They were down 10-0. So Bowles was saying he gave up, or he got blamed for giving up a touchdown to Ricky Nattiel for Denver's first touchdown of the game. It turns out it was not. That was not his coverage on the play.
He wanted to make sure you knew that.
I said, I did the game. Don't blame me. He said, no, it wasn't you. Can't give away who it was. From the 43-yard line. Mayfield stepping up. Going to run with it. Going to get a 1st down and several more. So Mayfield showing no ill effects of that twisted leg on the last play when he was in before this series, and a first down here, a gain of 18 yards.
Watch what happens with Chris Godwin when he comes in to kind of work in there as condensed, get a safety there. And now he's going to take the linebackers and the safeties with him. There's no one left. Everybody cleared out. So Baker Mayfield, after that sack, walked off a little gingerly, wondering how he might feel. This is usually in the game where Baker Mayfield will take over. Nice throw, now a nice scramble. Fourth quarter, tie game.
Hands it off on first down here. That's White. And aside for that one run, White's done basically nothing. Came in with a, as I said before, less than a 3-yard per average carry, but that went way up when he ran for 56.
Make no mistake, even though it's week 5, the start of the week 5 weekend, there's a long way to go. But these are the kind of games you fight with 11:30 to go and you find a way to win a divisional game. Make no mistake how you can use this as a game where you can really rally together. So a lot on the line for both these teams here in this last 11 minutes.
And out of the range of Otten, and incomplete coverage by Bertrand.
You know, the guy that's been getting some pressure here in this second half, we just showed you that next-gen stats as Liam Cohen tries to dial this up, is Matthew Judon, 15. You'll see him with the red sleeves, and of course, most recognizable name on this defense as far as the ability to get after the quarterback. Baker Mayfield has been, much like Kirk Cousins, working into the middle of this defense. The obvious target would be Mike Evans, but remember, Chris Godwin on third down is always an option for him as well.
First charge timeout. Tampa Bay.
And the Bucs are going to take a timeout prior to a 3rd down and 9. Again, what's at stake at the moment? We got 4 games into the season, almost a quarter of the way through. In this 17-game campaign, Tampa Bay 3-1, Atlanta 2-2. Saints are 2-2. We're going to see them in a couple of weeks in New Orleans against Denver. That brings Sean Payton back to the Big Easy. And the Carolina Panthers at 1-3. You know, I'm looking at Bowles, I'm looking at Morris. These guys go back. You go back to that Washington staff back in 2012, and Cousins was there. I mean, Sean McVay's fingerprints are all over everybody's coaching staff these days at 38 years old. It's amazing.
It is. And how about both offensive coordinators and the defensive coordinator, of course, from Atlanta, was in his quarterback room last year.
And a few head coaches, too. 3rd down and 9. Mayfield avoids the sack, takes off, but is stopped at the 34-yard line, so it's going to be 4th down, pressured by Caden Ellis, number 55, who's played every defensive snap this season for the Buccaneers, and it's 4th down, 4th and 6.
Now, he's the green dot. He's the middle linebacker, but the reason they look at him as such a valuable commodity to this defense is because of what he can do on 3rd downs. You know, it's not, they'll bring him off the edge. This time he goes right through Rashad White, who doesn't do a very good job there in pass pro. So they're dialing up the pressure here for sure.
53-yard attempt, Chase McLaughlin. Again, makes it look so easy. Right down the middle. Right down Peachtree Street. One of 36 here in Atlanta. 30-27. Bucs on top.
You're up here doing the swag surf.
Me?
Yeah. You and Ludacris.
Me and Ludacris. I guess, well, you see this like every week in college football. Something's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite is the Wisconsin jump around, right? At the end of the third quarter?
Yeah. Alabama was cranked up last week. Alabama, Georgia. Wow.
What a game. What a game. You know, a pretty good one here tonight as well. Falcons at the 30 will take over.
Well, Kirk Cousins has had a great game tonight. Just has really felt it. Talked about his timing being off just a bit. Tonight, that's not been the case. Not even even when he's been pressured, I think he's had confidence to be able to trust London. Throwing it around to Mooney. He's had a lot of different guys involved tonight. What a catch there by Mooney on that touchdown. But this youth movement around him with London and Mooney and Pitts and Bijan, they've been all over this attack against the Buccaneers defense. It's a pretty good night.
Yeah, 3:51. Under pressure, backside screen. Missed a tackle in the backfield. Gain of 5 here for Bijan Robinson. To Kaylee.
Guys, I'm here on the Bucs sideline looking at their 2 starting safeties on the sideline. Jordan Whitehead, we're told, is questionable to return because of a groin injury. And then, of course, Antoine Winfield out for a 3rd game. But this is not where anybody wants to see these 2 guys standing.
No, not at this point. Kayvon Merriweather comes in to take Whitehead's spot. Christian Izien is also in on the other side. 2nd down and 5. Robinson, and he gets stuffed after a gain of 1, so a 3rd down, 9.5 to go in regulation in a 3-point game. And right now you got Yaya Diaby, who's
Time out on the
down
field
on the
for an injured
turf.
player.
Diaby really coming into his own. They love him. 3rd round pick out of Louisville last year. Games with a team. Throw 2 deep passes or more in each. Jaden Daniels, what a phenomenal start. He is off to Washington. Get him later in the year on a Thursday night in Philadelphia. 82% of his passes completed. Jets and Giants winless at MetLife last week. Combined for 8 field goals, no touchdowns. And of course, we did one of those games last Thursday night. Meanwhile, a barn burner here tonight, as Frank Broyles would say. The late great Frank Broyles. 30-27, 3rd down and 4. Diaby walked up under his own power. Cousins is back under pressure, throws, and pressured, and there's a flag. Contact at the 42-yard line. Levante David covering Darnell Mooney.
At the top of the route, there's contact by Levante David. Really good coverage linebacker, but he just wraps up Mooney before he can even finish his route. Makes big contact. Watch 54 right here. I thought he might work to his left. He looked that way, comes back. There's the contact right there.
Pass interference. Defense, number 54. Foul. Automatic first down.
They were trying to set that up with the motion by Pitts to open up the outside to Drake London to the left. He came off of it because of the coverage. Tried to get it in there to Mooney, and it would have had a chance, but obviously David there with the pass interference, so they got a 1st down.
Yeah, barking his displeasure at the officials. 1st down up at the 43-yard line. 9:19 left in regulation. Algier. Short gain.
You talked about Sean McVay earlier in his coaching tree, and if he's watching, I'm sure he's studying film, knowing him, but if he is watching or hearing about it, you got to be really impressed with Zach Robinson. This guy's been a quarterback coach. Not like he was out there as a coordinator calling plays. This is the first time he's had a chance, former Oklahoma State quarterback, to call plays, and here he is, his 5th game. He's in a battle here against Todd Bowles and an aggressive defense, and the scheme that he's put together tonight been masterful along with Kirk Cousins.
Trust me, Sean is watching and looking at film. The baby's not too old for him to do the 2 o'clock feeding. Drake London picks up the 1st down.
Another example of Cousins showing his experience. Watch him look right, thinks about it, comes back. And he's been doing this all night where he thinks he's going to go one way, comes back, and again makes a good decision.
They go hurry up here, no huddle. Algier to the outside, and he will get wrestled down, hogtied by Anthony Nelson. 2nd down and a flag.
Now another penalty in plus territory for Atlanta's offense.
Offense number 63. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
Chris Lindstrom, he and McGarry, the guard and tackle, both picked in the 1st round by this club back in 2019.
He hooks him and then pulls Gaines down. Outside zone going the other way. Trying to avoid that penetration by big Greg Gaines. See that right hook right there and pulls him to the ground. So again, we talked about that, how that's been a problem for these guys. Pick up some positive yards, like 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
And back they go to a 1st and 20 from the midfield stripe. Swing it to the outside. And McLeod will go next to nowhere. Tackled there by Dean. 2nd and long upcoming. Taken down to the halfway mark of the 4th quarter. Here's Diaby coming back into the game. Reset the play clock to 25. In the pocket, throws, caught, pitch, still on his feet. Tackled finally, forward progress to about the 37 by Dean. So that sets up a 3rd and medium, 3rd down and 6.
Good to see again Pitts just getting some yards after the catch. Now they have a much more reasonable shot here at 3rd down and 6.
Pitts with 6 gashes tonight. As we get to the 30, fired wide open and dropped. Mooney open by a mile. 4th down.
What incredible anticipation here by Kirk Cousins. I mean, he throws this ball well before Mooney even thought about turning around. I don't know if this is what affected Mooney here or not. I mean, he sells this downfield, but watch Cousins when he throws this ball. This ball's out. There's your receiver all the way up at the top, and he just, I think the ball's maybe past halfway, and maybe he just lost sight of it. That ball hits him again in the chest.
Right there. Here's a 54-yard attempt for Koo to tie it. Blocked. So he's missed one, had that one blocked. Looked like Javier Thomas broke through, knocks it down, and with 6.5 to go in the 4th. It remains 30-27. A big 1st down to the 16-yard line instead.
Yeah, and Dean falls. He's at the 15-yard line. If he catches that ball, it's not just a 1st down. He's going to walk around him into the end zone. Go ahead, score. That's a touchdown and a missed opportunity by Mooney.
And then the blocked field goal gives Tampa the ball at the 44-yard line after the Javier Thomas block. Meanwhile, that is knocked down. That time Matthew Judon, 2nd down.
One of the other things that stood out to me in that play is you love to see the backs, and Bijan Robinson in his 2nd year gaining a reputation to pick these blitzes up, helmets off. Look at him fighting to be able to make that block, and there's the drop again that would have eventually led to a touchdown. And here's Tier Thomas just getting in clean on the right side, able to block that, keep the 3-point lead.
2nd and 10. White, decent gain here. Comes up about a couple of yards shy. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
I think White at 215 pounds is, we've seen a couple times we had a chance to be able to break through some tackles. That was a big one there to give him here at a 3rd and 2.
Under 6 to play.